What's up guys, Single Player Nacho here. Today we're going to talk about Umbrella's horrible crimes and how they failed to actually cover it all up. What's there to say about Umbrella besides that they are horrible people that have done inhumane experiments on humans, insects, animals, just about anything you can think of. Now we know about the obvious ways they try to cover it up by killing the STARS members, killing most of the police officers, anyone that was remotely knowledgeable about their crimes. But here's a few sneaky and secretive ways or methods they try to cover it up. Here we go. Number 1, food and other dumb products. If you're a huge Resident Evil nerd, you know that the Umbrella Corporation doesn't only work on disgusting viruses that make zombies and whatever this is. What's the perfect way to hide in plain sight if you're making these bioweapons? Well, Umbrella noodles. That's how you do it. Umbrella products that are vague or unknown, such as Adjuvil, Aquacure, Safsprin, and of course, Umbrella noodles, which I would imagine taste like zombie poop. Now, how do we know about these products and why are they connected to the lore? Well, it's because Umbrella did a huge marketing spree. You'll find most of these items through advertisements, posters, and billboards. And that makes absolute sense because you'd want to promote these things in order to hide the really disgusting things this company is actually doing. It's hiding in plain sight, and I guess it worked for a while, and then we had zombies. Now here's a little lesser known fact about Umbrella noodles, but they were advertised to be able to fill you up, even though they only contained 100 calories. So false advertising and statements like this made huge headlines that would distract people from Umbrella's other dealings, which were really mischievous. Number 2, wiping portraits. Yes, that's right. Umbrella actually went through the painstaking method of wiping the faces off of paintings found in the Arklay mansion. If you head over to the eastern staircase, you'll find a dialogue option when you face towards these paintings. The wall is lined up with portraits. All of the faces have been painted out. Do you guys know how screwed up it is to have the knowledge of the disgusting experiments happening in this laboratory/mansion, to have requested to have your face completely eradicated from paintings found in that same mansion? And it makes me wonder what these people actually are. Were they investors, donors? How were they connected to the Umbrella Corporation? Obviously, they know they're complicit in order to have evidence erased so that there's no connection leading back to them. It's a very tiny detail. You probably might miss it because you wouldn't even know that there's a dialogue option on these paintings, but it's little details like this that'll show you how effed up these people actually are. These paintings literally did the fading away meme, and they were like, we don't want any connection, we're out of here. Number 3, the Bravo team helicopter crash. Now at first glance it's pretty obvious that an explosion went off to hit Bravo team's helicopter, which of course caused it to crash in order for it to sabotage their mission into the investigation against Umbrella. But I guess the more secretive detail is who caused this helicopter to crash, therefore killing most of, if not everyone, from Bravo team. There's no certain answer, but it's obviously Umbrella. And if it's Umbrella sabotaging the STARS members, it's gotta be Wesker. Wesker's face will never not be suspicious for any crime. I mean, really, you can link this guy to anything. Unibombing, being a sexual predator. I mean, really, like, look at this dude. Now, it could have been James Marcus, that beautiful opera singer. Hell, it might have even been Hunk. Regardless, this was the tiny wrench that started the problems for STARS in order to really crack down on Umbrella. Number 4, Wesker's identity. Yes, the Shady Shadesman is back for another spot on this list. Now, I'm not one to talk about fashion choices. I just wear sweatpants and t-shirts, and that's what I'm gonna wear at my wedding, alright? But why the shades that are obviously going to implicate you, like I said, in any crime? Wesker's identity was actually kept a secret, but the methods that were used by Umbrella to keep his identity secret was actually pretty interesting. Well, first off, Umbrella kidnapped young Wesker. They brought him in as a child and took him under their wing. This goes to show how immense the levels of brainwashing that were done at the Umbrella Corporation, because this was a kid. Yeah, believe it or not, Wesker was a kid. I'm pretty sure he had tiny little glasses at that time, but he was a child. And he still followed Umbrella's procedures and orders and whatever they're doing asked of him. And then comes this item known as the slide filter. This key item acts as a slideshow presentation that can be viewed by the player, and of course you'll see someone very recognizable, and that's where the curtain is pulled away. It's Wesker. This whole time, Wesker was the bad guy. And it was Enrico Marini, Bravo team's leader, that was actually killed by Wesker right before revealing the traitor's identity as it's known. He was the closest to cracking the case. And if it weren't for that slide filter, we would have never been able to implicate Wesker to Umbrella's crimes. He might have gotten away with it. As we all know, Wesker gets his when the tyrant obliterates his guts, but the Shady Shadesman survived, and after the nuking of Raccoon City, still helped with the covering up of Umbrella's crimes. The Supreme Court case against the Umbrella Corporation, where their crimes were trying to be exposed, ultimately went to Umbrella's favor when Wesker brought in the data that he manipulated into the court case, which also implicated the US government into Umbrella's dealings. So of course, the US government said, all right, fine, Umbrella, you didn't do nothing wrong, okay? If it has to do with us, you did nothing wrong. So it's all because of Albert Wesker. His identity was pretty goddamn important into covering up this whole thing. Number 5, Brian Irons' serial killer. Now you don't need me to tell you how pig-like Brian Irons is. I mean, the guy radiates little chud energy, the male Karen, if you will. And with that said, of course, he's the chief of police for the Raccoon City Police Department. Now, what was the cover-up here regarding Brian Irons, aside from his disgusting face? Now, of course, Irons did take bribes from Umbrella Corporation's illegal activities. That's the more obvious cover-up, but what's an even bigger cover-up is Brian Irons' serial killing hobby, if that's what you want to call it. Now, this isn't exactly secretive. You take one look at Brian Irons' laboratory thing he's got going on in the Resident Evil 2's remake. Yeah, this guy is into some weird shit. What isn't openly stated is that he's been doing this for a while, and he's basically a serial killer. I'll get into even more detail in another video, but Brian Irons kidnapped 8 women, took them to the Raccoon City sewers, and killed them. Now, those are the ones that were known. He might have actually killed over a dozen women throughout his serial killing portfolio. It's pretty interesting to note that he has a fetish towards his victims being women between the ages of 18 and 23 and being blonde for some reason. Now here's the cover-up. RPD search parties said that there were no bodies found, even though this was known by the lore. Brian Irons did kill those women, and the Raccoon City Police Department covered it up. Pretty freaking gross. So these were the 5 secretive Umbrella cover-up techniques that I probably wouldn't recommend you do. If you ever have the knowledge to create a virus that will kill millions of people, probably don't do what Umbrella did, because they failed. We all know about this crap, and we're all better for it. Thank you, Capcom, I guess? Thanks, Capcom, for this very horrific storytelling. If you guys have any suggestions for other lore videos or mystery videos, be sure to comment down below your recommendations or other horror series or games. Really appreciate you guys spending the time to watch this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more horror, mystery, and lore. Again, thank you guys. You have a good one. And as always, stay single.